let's catch up with news from the world of entertainment. So many LGBTQ plus folks love superheroes, even though until recently we didn't have much representation. Part of it has to do with how the heroes were originally created in their comics. Wonder Woman was a feminist icon. Superman was an immigrant and outsider. The X-Men were directly based on the civil rights movements of the 60s. Stan Lee, creator of many of the Marvel characters we love, wrote, quote, "Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. Sooner or later, if a man is ever to be worthy of his destiny, we must fill our hearts with tolerance," end quote. Yeah. It's no wonder so many of us see ourselves in these heroes. Do the hosts tonight feel the same way? What media icons did we associate ourselves with? Our entertainment headline of the week is Doctor Strange 2. Comes out Friday, and the LGBTQ plus community is excited. Why do we love superheroes? Watch this.
Right over here is Xochitl Gomez playing America Chavez and executive producer Victoria Alonso.
Okay, so right now, you know what's going on. There are fans right over there. They waved hello. They're screaming at them. We're so happy to see you. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? We're finally here. We're here. We waited and waited and waited.
Yes.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, America Chavez.
Okay, Victoria Alonso. Now, I know that this means so much to you, having America Chavez make her MCU debut. What is she going to bring to the table that we haven't seen before?
Well, you're going to have to watch and watch and watch.
So let's talk about Ms. Chavez for a second. All right, so this is a character that is beloved in the comics. Tell us a little bit about what you pulled from the comics and what's different.
Yeah, I mean, what the amazing thing about the MCU version of America is that she is 14, which is younger than any of the versions in the comics. And she is an alien, which we love that.
We love it.
And you know, it was really interesting because, of course, she's super confident and has full ability of her powers, and so this is a completely new take. And I think Michael Waldron did a fabulous job.
Oh my God, she's so pretty. Okay,
great.
so what do you folks think? Like, I wish that as a little girl, I had like an America Chavez to look up to and say, all right, look at me. I'm represented in this movie, in this comic book, whatever, you know, something like that. Yeah. Something to be hopeful for in the future. This just makes my whole body tingle. I'm so excited about this.
No, this is really exciting because, I mean, personally for me, I'm the oldest child and the oldest grandchild and first American generation from my family. So I never knew what gay was. When I grew up, I just thought I was different. And I thought, like, oh, you can't say anything, like it's a secret, like don't say anything. Like I always felt a certain kind of way until, you know, I was in middle school, high school, then you trying to figure out, you know, what happens because, you know, friends say something or they out you or whatever. But I think this is so cool to see this type of representation in movies. You know, we didn't see it growing up, you know, so cool to see that on the screen now for, you know, little kids who look up to superheroes like we did, and we still do.
Yeah, but I looked up to superheroes not because they were gay or straight, just because I liked the superheroes. Like I was a huge fan of the Incredible Hulk for several reasons.
And look
at you now!
I actually grew up to look very much like Lou Ferrigno. Like, if you've seen pictures of me, do we have that picture, David? There I am!
Oh, wow.
First headshot.
That's both of us at 30 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We worked together when I lived in LA.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That is incredible. But you looked up to him because he was a superhero.
He was a superhero, absolutely.
You know, he still had a superhuman thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I just remember being, looking at my mom watch Wonder Woman, right? And just knowing that I had a certain kind of crush on Linda Carter, right? And not knowing what it was, but knowing that I wanted to be like her.
But see, like even if you didn't have a superhero to look up to because they were gay or straight, I mean, I worshipped Wonder Woman. I used to pretend I was her. Like my grandmother, when I swear to God, this is one of my earliest memories. Is my grandmother bought me these really cool pair of red rubber boots for the wintertime. Well, I used to pretend I was Wonder Woman, and I would go outside and I would spin. I would get speaker cord, and I would pretend that was my golden lasso. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, you still looked up to...
Your poor sister. Your poor sister. What you did to that girl. Hello again.
You still had people to look up to, you know? So, I mean, as much as I'm for creating tolerance and having people to look up for, I'm also an advocate to just making movies to entertain.
Yeah.
They shouldn't all have to teach a lesson or,
no,
you know...
of course not. Of course not. And we had no representation when we were kids. We just had none, so we just adapted ourselves to whichever one we saw that we most, were related to in some way.
Yeah.
I think that the concept of the superhero is something that we don't really think about, but that we identify with subconsciously. Right. Because as children, first off, comics are accessible because they're graphic, they're drawn, all that sort of thing. Also, they have to be hidden. Mm-hmm. The better parts of themselves are hidden.
Yep.
Their true selves are hidden, be it either by a set of glasses or a closet or whatever. And so when we see that when they take on their true identity, the world becomes a better place. And I think somehow subconsciously we relate to that from an LGBTQ perspective.
Of course, but I would always be screaming at the TV, really, Clark Kent, just take off the glasses, it's him.
And what you just said really resonates, because I was thinking about what you were saying, and that I was remembering back to the first time I saw X-Men. And thinking the same thing, and I'm like, well, maybe being gay is my superpower.
It is your superpower.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Wonder Fag's power, activate.
Activate!
We get memos and rings.
I just loved anything in tights, girl or boy. Just saying.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ